Hello, hello. So in this video, I'm just going to do kind of like an intro to gaming scripts. I'm not really going to dive too deep into the code. A lot of the stuff I'm going to be showing, the commands, are just to kind of intro you to a bunch of the commands that are most commonly used in gaming scripts. And of course, I'm sure I might miss, a few that you guys think are definitely worth putting on here. So definitely, comment below, of anything you think that might be useful for people to know that I might have missed in this video. So all these commands pretty much are just, simple commands. They're not going to really do anything in the script that I'm showing you. I will link the video down below with other videos that kind of go more in depth to what these commands do. So this is just kind of a way for you to start to see what you might want to use in your gaming script. So let's take a look at some of the code we got here. So the first one I got is set key delay 0. Basically, whenever you send a key press, there is a slight delay. If you do not include this in your script, I believe by default it is 10. But it can also go all the way down to -1, which means no delay whatsoever. So if you have multiple keys trying to be sent, if you put it at -1, they're going to send all instantly with no, just break or lag in between them. I usually set it, around like 0. That usually works pretty good for me. Very small delay, but it's enough that it's not going to really mess anything up. Um, this would also obviously be put at the top of your script, just because it's kind of like a setting for your scripts. Another setting that I use in pretty much all my scripts at all times is set title match mode to 2. And that's just so whenever you kind of are trying to check if a window exists, like I have right here, um, it's going to make it a little bit easier on your life. And what I mean by that is, you have a script, but you only want it to run in a certain window. So you put if when activate ahk underscore class Minecraft. So that's basically saying do this stuff here, but only in Minecraft if it's the active window. Set title match mode makes it so that I can just put Minecraft and I'm good to go. It's really nice for when a game like Minecraft, when I launch it, it's actually called Minecraft, 1.1.2. But then an update comes out and suddenly the title is changed to 1.1.3. I would have to go into my script every single time to change the version for that title if I didn't have set title match mode. But now I can just hit Minecraft. As long as it has Minecraft, I'm good to go. Doesn't matter what the rest of the name of the title is with the version number. Sleep. That's always going to be very important in gaming. That's just kind of between two actions, wait a little bit. And that's always in milliseconds, so 1,000 milliseconds, that's just 1 second. Maybe perform an action, wait 5 seconds, perform another action. That's useful for people who are like using like buffs, they want to time them and that kind of stuff. Obviously, one of the more popular ones are just clicks. So if you want a left mouse click, it's just a simple click. That's all you got to put there, and that's just going to mimic a button click of your left mouse. If you want to do a right, it's basically the same thing, but you just do click, put a few 3 commas here, and then right. And that's just going to mimic a right click. Mouse move. There's 2 ways to do this. Mouse move, just with this and this. These are coordinates. So that's kind of saying snap my mouse to, wherever these coordinates are on my screen. So just kind of move your mouse like that. If you wanted to actually do more of kind of like turn left or right in a game, you can do mouse move, and then just kind of what angle and, which direction you want to go. You can play around with these X and Y coordinates and whatnot. And you just put an R at the end for relative. That's kind of like, I want you to look 30 degrees to the left. Something to keep in mind with like mouse move especially, if you design a script that has these movements and it works great for you, but then you send it to a friend, it might do something completely different. On your computer, you might look 30 degrees to the left, but on your friend's computer, it might do like a full 360 turn. Everybody has different mouse sensitivity, resolution, so they might have to do some of the work on their own to adjust it to do what it's doing on your computer, but on their computer. So just keep that in mind with mouse move, is it might not always work the same way based off your settings versus theirs. Send, that just kind of mimics typing. So send howdy. This would literally type out the word howdy as if I were doing it on the keyboard. But obviously with that set key delay at 0, it's going to type this way faster than I could physically type it. That's great always for like sending quick chats and whatnot. Sometimes people want to send in the chat a kind of like a command. So sometimes if you put something like, where you have these brackets in there, it's going to mess up because it's going to think you're trying to call upon a function here. So you just got to change that to say send raw, and that will send exactly what's in here, regardless of like the brackets, percentage signs, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to get confused thinking you're trying to call upon a variable when you're actually really trying to send an actual percent sign. So send raw is good for when you want to send kind of like commands and fancy characters that might mess up normally in your script as just a send. ControlSend. So with send and send raw, that's just going to send to whatever active window you got, whatever the top most is. Where ControlSend is kind of cool because you can send, button presses and whatnot to a window that is behind something. You can be in Chrome watching Netflix, but have your script perform actions in Minecraft. So all you gotta do here is ControlSend, the name of the title of the window you want to send to, and then what you want to send. So this would send howdy, and then it would press the enter key for us. Another thing you can do with send is instead of just like send you, I could do send you down, and that basically is mimicking me just holding the key down. It's going to sleep for 1 second and then release. Sometimes you need to hold a key down in a game for more than just a quick hit. Maybe you need to hold it down for 5 seconds to power up something or whatnot. So the down and up things are very useful when using sends like that, with that sleep that we talked about before in the middle there. Sometimes people want to generate random numbers for a game. All you gotta do is random the variable you want your random number stored at, and then whatever the minimum is and the maximum. So then you can just maybe say blah, blah pick a random number here and then send that number. So this first time running might send a 2. The next time running it might send an 8. So you can adjust these numbers to whatever you want. These are really popular ones. Probably the one I also see the most questions being asked about is pixel search. Pixel search basically is looking at your computer screen and finding a specific color. So what it's doing is when it does find that specific color, it's saving the X and Y coordinates here. Actually, that should be a Y. And then these are kind of just where you want to search. You can leave these at, the whole screen. I don't recommend that because, that takes up a lot more processing power. It slows your script down if you're searching the entire screen. Or you can just be like, my X and Y coordinates of where I want the box of my search to start and where I want the coordinates to end. Here's my color that I want to search for. And it doesn't have to be exact. It can be off by about 30. And then, I obviously want it to, go as fast as possible. And then just if error level, meaning it didn't find anything, I don't really want it to do anything else, meaning it did find it, perform an action, maybe clicking those coordinates, meaning that I want to, push a button that matches that color when it appears. Image search, basically the same thing as a pixel search, but you're actually searching for basically like a screenshot that you took. So maybe you want to take a screenshot of, a button, and anytime that button appears on your screen, perform whatever action, kind of like what you did right here. So this is basically on the same idea. If it finds it, it tells you where the X and Y coordinates are. It saves that as a variable if you need them. Where are you searching on your screen? To start the top left of the box, I guess, and then the bottom right of the box of your search area. Once again, don't recommend doing your whole screen if you can help it. If you kind of know where the button's going to be appearing each time, maybe grab the coordinates for that area. So it's definitely going to improve your speed on your script. And then just where that image is actually saved, so it knows where to reference and do the match with it. And then the last one I got here, I see a lot being used for automation in gaming is timers. Maybe you don't want to sit there and have to press, your hotkey F1 every single time you want to do something. You just want it to keep going. So you can do loops, but you can also just set a timer just as easily. Let's just set timer, at 5 seconds, 500 milliseconds or 5,000 milliseconds. Basically, go to this handler, which I have right here, the little dots at the end. And then in here, you just put whatever actions you want to be performed every 5 seconds. And then just to throw it out there, just so if you use any of this code and you're wondering why it keeps doing more than you want, don't always have to use a return if your script's pretty simple. But a return's basically a stop sign. When it hits that line of code, it's going to stop, and it's not really going to perform anything else under this action here. So yeah, that was just kind of a quick rundown of some of the most common commands that I see people using for gaming. I'll link any videos that I've done that are based off any of these commands, so that way you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to dive more into based on your needs and whatnot. And like I said, if you guys think of any that I just kind of left out, definitely comment below so it helps the other people. And if I do see you guys comment and I made a video about it, I'll link the video to your comment too, just to help people out. And I think there's one or two in here that I actually have not done a video on, but I do plan to do those in the next coming weeks. And once those come out, I'll go ahead and re-update the description to make sure those are down there too. So yeah, if you guys found this helpful, definitely please subscribe. It helps me out quite a bit. I'm putting out usually about 2 to 3 videos every week in kind of various different elements. Not just gaming, but, how can AutoHotkeys be used for work, personal use, a whole bunch of stuff. Great variety. So please definitely check some of those out. All right, guys, I'll see you next one. See ya.